So actually, these lecture series are being recorded so that I mean this will be put. The link of this recording will be put on our DT website, where all the faculty at their leisure they can view these lectures as well. So today's the first speaker is Mr. Suraj SD. So he is the founder and CEO at Decibels Lab, Program Director for e-learning platform. He is a graduate in mechanical engineering and has got professional experience. It's 12 years in automotive industry, and his current roles are founder and CEO at Decibels Lab. He has led a team of over 20 engineers in consulting projects for various EV projects and is currently engaging in R&D of powertrain single D modeling, vehicle testing and calibration, traction, batteries, BMS software development, battery twinning, EV thermal management, and VCU software development. And he has also developed e-learning platforms wherein he's creating practical and outcome-oriented training curriculum and content. Created over 2,000 hours of course curriculum and has also created an LMS platform for 40,000 plus learners globally and created 15 plus EV labs and 3 state-of-the-art centers of excellence to create practical learning. And it's also privileged that our department has associated with Decibels Lab Private Limited for conducting a training of trainers for our faculty members. 1 month back, 1 week program wherein uh, our faculty members have expressed immense uh, positive response and were very happy about the training. The quality of the training and the lab infrastructure was very, very wonderful. State of art facilities, which was established at RV College of Engineering, Center of Competence, um, where our faculty members were trained. And he has also delivered training programs for customers such as Tata Motors, Toyota, Schneider Electric, and also has international experience wherein worked on significant projects for renowned companies such as Mercedes-Benz, GmbH, Fiat, Chrysler, and Fisher Dynamics in USA. And he has also a TEDx speaker sharing insights and knowledge of educational methodologies, delivered several keynote sessions at industry and academia. His key areas of interest are sustainable mobility, like hybrid, electric, fuel cell, and more, autonomous and connected vehicles, digital twinning, and cyber physical systems. His goals are to bridge the gap between the industry and academia and provide training by integrating real world experiences and to foster a new generation of engineers equipped with practical skills and knowledge in electrical, mobility, and automotive system. And he believes in power of education, transform lives and industries, and he is very passionate about continuous learning and innovation in automotive sector, dedicated to mentoring and inspiring future engineers to achieve their full potential. Sir, over to Sri Suraj SD.
Thank you very much, Rashika sir. Thanks a lot for the invitation, and thank you also for giving us the opportunity to share the platform today. It's a great interest from Department of Technical Education and the leadership across the DT to engage in such kind of programs where we can explore some of the synergies to discuss. Thank you again, everybody, for present here to have this discussions. I would not say a training, a lecture, but I would say discussions so that we can have some interactive activities. So let me start ahead from my side. And I would like to hear from you that quickly within 1 or 2 minutes that if you have any expectations to take away from this session today, so that it will be more focused about or around the interest that you would like to hear from me. Can anybody would like to just unmute and express your uh, interest or intention to attend this today's session?
Actually, all the participants have been muted. Uh, okay,
Ah,
we'll ask them to just put a message on the chat box.
okay, perfect. So
Um,
that should do. Yeah, that should.
so,
Yeah, sure. So it will not take much time. Just you can have a 1 minute where you can participate,
yes.
and maybe I also see that you're really attending the session. so you can drop in messages if you have specific interest to participate in today's session. So quickly, we will not take much more than it's a 5:13 now, so we will start about 5:14 or 5:15. So yeah, we're waiting for some of your inputs, please.
Anybody, I mean, you can give your view.
Expectations, because I should not talk something and then by end of it we would say that this is something may not be useful for you. So it's better always we both are on the same page and we are aligned to discuss maybe another 20 minutes about what is your expectation, sir. Anybody can drop in your messages in the chat box. I would be glad to hear.
Lala Saab Nadaf, you can speak.
Sure, another 1 minute to go. It's all right. If you have any
In,
expectations, yeah, let us know.
yes.
Great. So yeah, let me start ahead then, and we will quickly reconnect if you have any specific interest to take it ahead. I think the idea of what I understand is that the students who are taking up the courses have a potential opportunities in the industry. So it is to sort of understand what opportunities they may have when they graduate, right? Or how do we sort of tailor our curriculum or deliver certain programs in the process during the academics so that their opportunities becomes more or they are potentially prepared for those opportunities. So with that as a note, let me start about myself. So yeah. So we know that in EV there are multiple components, multiple subsystems. Then the overall vehicle is being made, and a lot of integration of connecting one system to one subsystem to another subsystem to make it as a complete system. So when we largely see uh, all the components, so the primarily the objective comes uh, in the phase of maybe concept design. Then the next phase is developing a product, and then manufacturing a product. Then by end of it, selling it. Then after selling it, servicing the product. Right. So when we see the whole journey, so these are the components at the level where we play at, or they will or we will have things in the vehicle level when it comes to service or something of that sort. So when we see any of these components, maybe you can identify we have a transmission, we have a motor, so then we have an inverter, uh, then we have onboard charger, DC-DC converter, we may have a battery management system or a battery pack itself, then we have a battery heating system, battery cooling system, EVCU system. Obviously, then we have some of the other components as well in terms of the pump for your braking system and accelerators or inputs to selection of modes of the vehicle or modes of the motor, all of that in place, right? So the broadly we see this, just to start ahead with the technical perspective. And then when we talk about one by one, right, if we talk about either transmission or overall, when we see everything, so there is an opportunity for anybody to get into a manufacturing of these components. That's a broad perspective. We can start with, maybe because sometime in R&D, the expectations and technical requirements would be slightly higher. Maybe somebody, they may experience and expect an experienced engineer to work in the R&D levels or in the very beginning of the product development journey, right? But once the commercialization of the product happens, when the production activities are engaged in place, majorly I foresee that today we are talking for opportunities for a fresh graduates out of academia from diploma colleges, right? So when we see that, if we can identify what are the areas where these components, if I take a component like a battery, we will talk about that. We take an example of a motor, we will talk about it, like that, various different areas. So if we have a curriculum which talks about maybe winding of motors, right, so there can be a potential opportunity for the students to explore the career in that specific manufacturing sectors. So let me start ahead with the one of few of them as we gradually grow ahead. Here we see a motor, all right? So when we see a motor, uh, what are the opportunities that we can anticipate for our students? One, when we talk about each of these components that goes into the motor, there can be a potential opportunity for students to get into manufacturing. Maybe there are about more than 300 components which are present inside the motor. So how do we, first, all of these small sub-assemblies of these components are being manufactured. Maybe if you take laminates, or if you make or if you take any raw materials such as copper cables or any of the other components in place, which may be electronics also, which is going into the measurement of its position and its speed. So any such components can come into a play. So we can think possibly for our students having certain knowledge of EV, means it is not everything about EV, but if somebody have a knowledge on motors, maybe we have a department where we can align the students to a specific vertical, so where they can find some of the scope of interest in possibly all these motor companies. If we list today, there are more than about I think 100 plus motor manufacturing companies in India, which may not be fully only for EV application, but there are a lot of companies for non-automotive applications as well. So there can be a potential opportunity for our students, very specifically in the areas of motors, motor manufacturing, and things like that. So what do we sort of have to visualize for that student to, or what kind of skill sets that students should have? He may not need to really know a software to design a motor, right? But he can have a knowledge of manufacturing process of the motor. What are the stages involved in manufacturing? Does he understands the components that goes inside the motor in the manufacturing process? Does he know once the motor comes out of the assembly line, how do I test that motor? Maybe a static test or maybe a dynamic test. Do I understand the the results of that motor? Can I see if the result is this, the motor is okay? If the result is this, motor is not okay. Do I know those parameters and what is the impact? Maybe there is an insulation measurement. So when I conduct an insulation test, if the results are coming, do I really know these results are correct or false? Obviously, there is automated software which tells you what is right or wrong. But from the perspective of a knowledge, whether he really know, that means when the insulation is lost, what is the meaning of that actually? So these kind of exposure, if the student has, if I say from the perspective of understanding all the components, can she identify all the components of the motor? Can he define the working principle, a fundamental basic working principle of a motor, and arrangements of components inside the motor? Maybe it is a arrangements of the magnets, arrangements of the stator, arrangements of the rotor, and all of that fundamental things in place. And then a static behavior of the motor, dynamic behavior of the motor. How does the motor torque characteristics comes? How do the motor efficiency characteristics are there? Right. On the other side, when I test a motor on the static bench, what kind of tests I should perform? Do I know to perform those tests in place? This is a one part of the journey. So where the production activities can be possibly engaged for the learner in place. Then the other area is that there are opportunities for the students where there is something called endurance testing. So the endurance testing means that we have to test the motor for several number of hours. So the motor companies who are there, maybe I said hundreds of motor companies are there. Maybe in Bangalore itself, maybe we can list like 25 companies who are making motors in Bangalore. I think I said a very small number. Even there can be much more higher number of companies who are making. Some of them like SEG is making Toyota. Sorry, not Toyota. Kirloskar is making motors. There's a company called Elect now, which I know. There are two, three startups whom I know. They are also based out in Bangalore who are making motors. So there can be an opportunity for these students who graduate to get an idea into the sectors of motors. And I said motor testing. So any of these companies who are into, maybe if I just quickly showcase a small example, I may not know how much we can cover, but I would like to always cover something that in a proper way. If you know two, three topics, at least we will know it. So motor testing. So when we say motor testing, so maybe this is something like a static test. We can like have a motor after its manufacturing process to without running the motor is basically meaning as a static test. And maybe if I take a dynamic testing of the motor, so can I know this kind of a I would say dyno. So one of our student who was graduated from our course at Decibels Lab, so all he does is taking care of the motor testing. So there are test beds like this. So we have to run the motor for continuously like 10,000 hours, 5,000 hours. We need to keep conducting its motor performance. Maybe we need to perform certain changes in the motor controller, conduct an experiment, repeat an experiment to collect data. So his responsibility as a lifetime would be as a test engineer, motor test engineer. So you can like we can suggest some of your students also to find some opportunities in those areas. And when it comes to a motor controller, traction motor controller traction inverter, today these are called we don't call them as repairable components today. They come as a assembly components. So today, even if you teach somebody, it is not that easy to teach someone to just repair these components. It is highly challenging to teach somebody to repair these components because the complexity that is going into repairing these components are very high. So but yeah, we can give this idea to a student, like maybe on the service level or on the very basic level, that okay, what is a motor controller, how does it work? Maybe if the motor is not running, can you really understand is it an issue of a motor controller or is it an issue of a motor, right? Some of those insights we can bring in here. Again, as I said, today production is a very big opportunity today. If you check what are the opportunities available for fresh graduates in the motor control production, there are three, four companies whom I know in Bangalore. They are getting into a motor controller development. So we can look for some opportunity for students. In the same way, when we come about chargers, this is the technology side of it. But when we also talk about something on the charger, certainly I would not say design of it, but more on the manufacturing of it or servicing of it, of the chargers. So today there is also a very large opportunity present for many people in the installation of the chargers. So maybe if you see uh, setting up of a petrol station or a petrol pump is a very lucrative thing when things people are doing it. But the same way, it requires a specialized skill set person to install a EV charging station also, because it's a high voltage system. So after you take care of the proper electrical installation procedures, then when they have to do the initial testing of the machine, there are certain process to follow. So somebody can become installation technician possibly, right? So there are, if you list if you go to Google and type EV charging companies in India, you will find more than about 200 companies who are doing charger installations all across the country. So and this is happening, and they require a lot of manpower to understand these things. So maybe you can even tie up with two three companies, like ABB is there. There is a Xeon. um, there are even Tata Power is there. They're doing it. Many companies are there, so they can be a potential opportunity for the students who are graduating to get job in charger installations, um, and charger diagnostics and charger testing setups when the commissioning is happening and things like that. So then broadly, when we come to a battery, so today battery pack manufacturing, we don't make cells in India, but there are companies who are looking to start the cell development in India as well. But there are many opportunities for people to find jobs in manufacturing companies. So when I say manufacturing companies, there are a large number of companies who are involved in manufacturing of battery packs. At least there are nothing less than 100 companies in Bangalore, I think, who are into developing of um, battery packs. So that can be a very I would say easy opportunity for a lot of students. So fundamentally they should know what is a cell, what is the voltage, what is resistance, how to connect cells in series and parallel, what kind of components to use to make a battery pack, what is spot welding, what is insulation, how to put that components around it to make the battery pack safer from the electrical hazardous or the mechanical hazardous and things like that. So I think even we have been asked by one of the very big organization to create a training program for battery pack manufacturing, because that sector is going to be a very huge big sector, because today we are talking about IC engine production, casting companies and things like that, but here there is nothing like that, right? It's more about battery manufacturing. It's about integration, assembly, testing and things like that. So there can be a good opportunity for students who are graduating out of the colleges to explore opportunities in battery pack manufacturing. That can be one interesting area. Apart from it, there is also one more role that is called battery testing. Okay, so if I have to share, maybe some of the participants who have come to our lab in Bangalore for the offline session, they would have seen, just to showcase to everybody else. So every battery or a cell manufacturing company will have machines like this. These are called battery testers or a cell testers. You can see something like this is visible to you. So every company in India or in even the world who is buying the uh, cells, because everybody is not manufacturing cells. Most of them are buying the cells. So when they're buying the cells, they have to test the cells to get a confidence whether the cell will behave well or not. And these tests will go for 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, and things like that for a long duration. So henceforth, what happens? It becomes highly important to conduct these tests. So there, I said about a motor testing. The same way here, the students can work as testing engineers, where they will be, doing more of the testing jobs. So where they will main responsibilities to conduct the continuous testing on these machines and collect data and just give the data. And this is going to be there as a test engineer in all the companies, and who will be battery testing setup. If you go to any big companies, maybe like Ather or Ola, you will find maybe like thousand of these components. Like there'll be a huge one house full of testing machines like this. So there can be a not there can be there is an everyday requirement for testing engineers, battery testing engineers, and things like that. So apart from this, yeah, we can go to some other areas. These are some areas that will not be easy for freshers to get in, but more on the, even if you're able to teach the students on with the help of softwares of how to develop wiring diagrams or a wiring CADs. So there can be a good opportunity for students as well. So when we talk about all of this, just to finally, kind of give it a overview idea, that when it comes to specifically other areas apart from core area of engineering, BIW development, seating system, plastics, steering system, braking system. This may be too much for the students to start with, but when it talk about something like testing, continuous testing, because there are at least about more than I think 100 test engineers in Ather possibly. Right? They only does testing, and that doesn't require a very specialized engineering knowledge. So the person should be able to have able to ride the vehicle or able to test component. You should be able to, like, create a documents. You should be able to collect data, upload the data into a cloud. So the basic kind of an activities you shall be able to do. If you know the vehicle very well, then you can give more feedbacks also in a better way. So the homologation engineer, homologations technician, or so the people who will be taking care of getting the vehicle tested in certifications, ARAI and things like that, and the quality, and it may be production quality, it may be supplier quality, it may be even in the possibilities of the at a service center as well, like, delivery quality, receiving quality, and all of that. So vendor development, that is another potential area where if the person has a knowledge about the specific component and he or she know good in communication, good in networking and things like that, he can also work as a vendor development, because all the motor, if you take motor manufacturer, they have more than about 10 vendors or 20 vendors. Somebody has to go and develop the vendor for that manufacturer. If you take bike, there may be about more than maybe 1,000 components, 2,000 components. If you take a car, there are at least about 4,000 components. So each of those components has to be manufactured by somebody. So you can be a vendor development engineer, vendor development person, or also in the supply chain. So supply chain is basically all your logistics planning, inventory management. Such kind of an opportunities are also available for a student. Then finally, it comes to a last side, that is a service. So today, that is that last topic I'm trying to take, because like apart from all of this, end of the day, when the vehicle is being sold at a dealership, and today you cannot take a electric car or electric bike to a normal technician for the repairing of those vehicles, because nobody have a knowledge even to touch those vehicles, see how to repair those vehicles. So basically, there can be an opportunity for somebody who is who is who can really understand the overall vehicle, because somebody may not be able to understand everything. They may be good in only motors, only batteries, battery manufacturing. But when you want to repair a vehicle, you should know all the things very well. You should know how to use a diagnostic tool. You should know how to use a multimeter. You should know how to use an oscilloscope. So all of that, and analytical skills, how to approach the problem, how to understand the issue, and identifying the root cause of the issue. So that may be slightly more in depth for somebody to really aspiring as a technical person to get into. So there can be a good opportunity in service. Maybe if you take every company, EV company today, they require a good amount of service engineers, because everybody is increasing the number of vehicles being sold as a participation to the EV. In this area also, there can be a high voltage technician, high voltage expert, who know how to handle high voltage vehicles, high voltage components. There can be an opportunity for many people in this area. So broadly, what I would say, I would not go to this. You can prepare your students, understanding what are the industries are there to absorb the students, because suddenly we can teach, but end of the day, somewhere they have to know. Because when I graduated in my engineering, I thought I can make a car by myself. There was a very immature thought process back in 2010 I had. So after we joined Mercedes, we understood that there are about 3,000 people working to develop a one car, and it costs about more than 150 to 200 million dollars to bring the one car into a decent production stage. I think even more than that it should be. So understanding this itself was not there as a student when I was studying. And this is the same thing I see for many students as well. They do not even know, okay, I learn in like the diploma course, but I do not know where to apply. But for that, as a faculty or a head management, we should really know where I can put the student. Like, am I teaching something that is really required as a job skill set today or tomorrow in the industry today? I think we can make every subject can be linked to as an assignment possibility to identify 30 companies who are in this area, and what are the job roles that these 30 companies really want our participants to be prepared with, and what kind of skill sets that they demand. Maybe we should be able to identify some of the HRs in those companies, communicate to them, and tell them that what kind of skill sets you require, and then we should be able to incorporate such kind of a educational methodology, instructional design approaches, or also our lab experiments and things like that, so that our students who are prepared here will be directly employable in the company, and they can get a better career opportunities for their prospective future career. So with that, I try to limit myself within 20 minutes that was given to me. I understand it is late evening and for everybody have your own plans. So to broadly give an idea, I think we have to derive and drive the ecosystem as 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 a responsible citizens of the state, and also being in having that opportunity for ourselves. I feel like a mandate is given to our hands, and we shall be so excited that to make that change, that our children will have clean air to breathe, our children will have better environment to drive their vehicles around the city or the highways in place. So with that note, I thank the whole organizing committee and Rajshekar sir for inviting me and giving the platform to share. So over to you, Rajshekar sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the wonderful talk, wherein you have given a complete overview of electric vehicle and the career opportunities, what lies for the students. And definitely the faculty have gained a lot of insight into what is actually happening in EV sector, where it is not just batteries or motors. It's a complete, it's a combination of multiple subsystems, wherein a lot of opportunities, wherein the faculty have to uh, have a coordination with industry to identify the requirements, as you have indicated, communicate with HRs to enhance the employability of the students. Uh, Thank you, sir, for giving an overview of traction motors, EV chargers, traction cells, electrical wiring, powertrain, and all that. Now, if the participants have any question, please can. Manohar, Manohar has raised his hand. He can click on Manohar. Or anybody else who have any specific question? And I will be very happy to answer. I think there are no questions, sir.
Sure, sir. Sure, sure,
Thank you,
sure.
sir. Thank you for accepting our invitation and coming over to speak, sir.
My pleasure, sir. Thank you very much.
Like
I
to
hope.
have more such association with you, sir.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. I
Thank
look
you.
forward. This helps across the platform in place. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now we have our next speaker, Dr. Suresh Kumar Case. I think most of us know about him. He was with our department for more than 36 years of teaching and field experience. He had worked as principal SJ Government Polytechnic and Government Polytechnic for Women, Bangalore. And throughout his service, he has worked in various capacities in the department, and he was very instrumental in developing community polytechnics. Under that Women's Polytechnic, he has done notable work in community polytechnic area. To talk about him briefly, he had education in B in civil engineering from RVC Bangalore in 1983, MTech in transportation engineering and management, NIT Trichy in 2006, and he got his PhD in civil engineering at Bangalore University 2014. And he has research experience over 16 years at UVCE Bangalore from 2008 to 2014. His key contributions were in development of temperature differential prediction models, development of fatigue models, development of models to determine responsive key values. Likewise, in National Institute of Technology, Trichy, between 2004-2006, as MTech student, he has contributed in determining strength and durability properties of fiber reinforced silica fume admixed cement concrete, cost analysis of HPCC and conventional cement concrete pavements. To his credit, he has got a lot of publications in international journals, national journals, and he's participated in international conferences, national conferences, and seminars, and is member of the professional bodies like ISTE, Indian Red Congress, the Indian Institute of Engineers, and to his credit, he has awards and prizes. First rank in PhD entrance exam, Bangalore University. First rank in MTech, NIT Trichy. And today is a welcome, sir, for today's talk. Dr. Suresh Kumar, sir.
Yeah.
Uh,
Am I audible?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Today he will be speaking on initiatives in teaching learning process with emphasis on student-centered learning. Over to you, sir.
Okay. I think my slide is visible.
Yes, sir. It is visible. Continue, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Rajshekar, for giving the introduction about me. Today, I'll be talking about initiatives in teaching learning process with the emphasis on student-centered learning. The previous speaker from Decibel Labs was talking about different technologies, particularly in EV, and how the students can be trained. But I feel if the students are allowed to learn, then they'll be able to understand the subject very well, and also they'll be good. They'll come up in life. Now, in this particular slide, you can see two logos here. This is the sustainability logo, global logo of sustainability, and this is the logo of Department of Environmental Engineering, SJ Polytechnic. Both these were done by students itself, and they have painted this in the Environmental Engineering Laboratory at SAP. I was the head of the Department of Environmental Engineering at that particular time. And in today's topic, I'll be talking, you can say the keywords will be initiatives and student-centered learning. So you can see here, I'm going to start the presentation with the news clipping. This was published in Times of India. The construction sector suffers from a dearth of skilled civil engineers. This is not only just civil engineering, it applies to all other disciplines also. And even the previous speaker was telling about the skill gap. So here, this particular author says that skill gap can be addressed through updating curriculum, better pay, and strong industry academia connect. But I don't know whether you people will agree with this. If just the skill gap is upgraded in the curriculum, will the students be able to serve the society in whatever way they want or whatever way the society wants? Better pay, again, giving better pay, does it make the students lead at least a life which they desire, and also serve the society at the same time? And again, industry academia interaction, okay, I agree with this. But actually, what I feel is the onus lies on the teachers. Now, I'm going to show you this another clipping. So this is this was published in Vijayavani. So ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಗುರುವಿನ ಸ್ಥಾನ ದೇವರಿಗಿಂತ ಮಿಗಿಲು. ಇದು ಯಾರ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಶಾರದಾಶ್ರಮದ ಮಾತಾಜಿ ವಿವೇಕಮಯಿ ಅವರ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ. ಇದು ಅವ್ರ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಏನು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾನು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇವರು ಮಾತಾಜಿ ವಿವೇಕಮಯಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಎರಡು ಮಾತು ಹೇಳಕ್ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಇವರು Vivekamayi, Mataji Vivekamayi. Actually, she was my student in 1995 in Government Polytechnic for Women, and she was the topper in civil engineering draftsmanship. Okay, today in whatever field she wants to be, she has achieved whatever she wants. Today she is heading the Hiriyuru Sharadashrama. Okay, now let's see what she says. ಭಾರತೀಯ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕನಿಗೆ ದೇವರ ಸ್ಥಾನವಿದೆ. ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕನ ಪಾತ್ರ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠವಾದದ್ದು ಎಂದು ಮಾತಾಜಿ ವಿವೇಕಮಯ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಕಿಪ್ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಗ್ರಾಫ್. ಶಿಕ್ಷಣದ ಗುಣಮಟ್ಟ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವಲಂಬಿತವಾಗಿದೆ. ಹಿಂದೂ ಧರ್ಮಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಗ್ರಂಥಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕನು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗೆ 2ನೇ ಜನ್ಮ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ ಎಂದು ಉಲ್ಲೇಖವಿದೆ. ಶಿಕ್ಷಕ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿಕೆಯ ಉತ್ಸಾಹ, ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಹಸಿವು ಮೂಡಿಸಬೇಕು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರು ಜ್ಞಾನವಂತರಾಗಬೇಕು. ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರಿಂದ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಭಾವನೆಗಳು ಮೈಗೂಡಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತಹ ಪ್ರೇರಣೆ ದೊರೆಯಬೇಕು ಎಂದರು. ಮತ್ತು ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರು ಸಚ್ಚಾರಿತ್ರವಂತರಾಗಿದ್ದು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಯರಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾರಿತ್ರ್ಯದ ಮಹತ್ವ ತಿಳಿಸಿಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಆಗ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರ ಹೃದಯವಂತಿಕೆ, ಸಹಾನುಭೂತಿಯಿಂದ ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿತ್ವ ಬೆಳೆಸಬಹುದು. ಆಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಉಜ್ವಲ ಭವಿಷ್ಯ ರೂಪಿಸಲು ಸಾಧ್ಯ. I think all of you are going to agree with this. So here, the teachers have got a very important role to play. I'm talking about role. Now, there are two aspects here. One is teacher-centered teaching, and the one is student-centered learning. So I can easily say that teacher-centered teaching is happening, but still the students are not up to the par. Not what we desire and even what the students desire or what the parents desire. So here I'll be discussing about 2-3 modes of learning. So here you can see the learning pyramid. This pyramid shows the knowledge retention rates. So if you are going to listen to a lecture, you may retain about 5% of knowledge. Reading, 10% of knowledge can be retained. Audio-visual clipping, if you are going to view that, 20% can be retained. Demonstration, about 30% can be retained. And all these are passive teaching methods. Then coming to discussion, 50% can be retained. Practice doing, 75% can be retained. And teach others, 90% can be retained. But here, we are the teachers and we do the teaching. Students are not allowed to do the teaching. But if students are allowed to do the teaching, I'm sure at least this 90%, certainly they are going to retain the knowledge because they'll have to prepare for that. And in my initiatives, I've tried to attempt all these things. Now you can see we are talking about Bloom's taxonomy, where generally we have got 3 domains, the cognitive domain and the psychomotor domain. This again we are doing, but we have not touched the affective domain. The affective domain is receiving, willingness to pay the attention. Are we making the students to pay attention? And once they do that, they should respond or they have to react. Then they have to value, they have to accept whatever they are responding to. Then arrangement of values. And finally, incorporating values in their life so that the society also will be benefited by that. Now, coming to the initiatives, again, I'm telling you, these are the keywords which I'll be using often and often. So plenty of initiatives are there for the teaching faculty, but only thing is they have to take the initiative. For example, what I just told about Bloom's taxonomy or the knowledge pyramid, or we have got other modes of teaching and learning in teaching learning processes. But all those things are just guidelines. Unless we take the initiative, we will not be successful. We will not be a successful teacher, and our students also will not be up to the par. So here AROHAN is actually an initiative taken by Department of Technical Education, and Rajshekar sir was telling it was the initiative of the Principal Secretary, Mr. Srikar. So I thank him for taking this initiative in the teaching learning process. So now it is up to us to make good of the initiative taken by this. And I think this is lecture series number 9. Good action is being taken by the department. So now I'll be discussing my initiatives. Here I'll be sharing my own experience. What are the initiatives I have just taken? So coming to the initiative number 1, I would like to talk about a subject called railways, tunnels, and harbors. This was there in the civil. Now, because I have a civil engineering background, I'll be discussing more of these with respect to civil engineering. But this is a general topic. In fact, I'm discussing about pedagogy. This is applicable to all disciplines. So here I'll just do an initiative. See what I did, how to make students pay attention. This is an important question. So there will be plenty of students in some cases in different places. For example, in SJP, we were having something like 60 students plus another 10 or 15 students. So how to make students pay attention with the 60 students? Making students pay attention for about 15 students, 20 students, 40 students, it can be done to a certain extent. And how do you make the student pay attention? So here, basically, it is through interaction. In the very first class, when you are going to introduce, and later on also, you have to make a mark on the students. The students will be in touch with you or on contact with you more than their parents, because they'll be spending something like 8 hours and even beyond that. So you will be something like a role model if you are good. So it is up to you. You have to be good here. Now here you can see this image. So generally, in railway tunnels and harbors, this is the first slide I present for the students. You also can see the image. You can see there is a train here, and you can see the type of the track that is here. It is not at all straight. Lot of undulations are there, and sleepers are not there. So you can find a number of problems here. Now the question is, what happens to this train if it starts moving? So this is what I present in a class. So now if you see this, so I'll try to, we will try to see what happens to this train. So I've just put this video here. So let's play this video. So you can see the train is moving on these kind of tracks. You can see already an accident has happened. You can see the axles of the train here. Previous train. Now it is crossing a level crossing. Level crossing is unmanned. Let's see what happens here. Now, generally, I used to pause and ask the students, what will happen to this train now? And the answers I get was, it is going to derail, it is going to fall, an accident will happen like this. And when I asked the students, what else do you see other than the train? So even you would have noticed a small butterfly was flying. Some birds were flying. So this is important. Now you can see a close-up view of the wheels, the track, the sleepers, the ballast, and the sounds. Generally, when I ask the students what kind of mode of transport you like, whether it is a train or whether it is bus, generally most of them will say it is train. And also about the rhythmic sound when they are going to move about in the train. Advantages like walking around wherever they want in the train. So like this, there are plenty of opportunities. I've seen just a car just passed. And let's skip it. So the train has passed in spite of the undulations, in spite of the bad sleeper conditions, in spite of no ballast at all at particular places. Now let's see what happens. This is generally what I do. Can you see the tilt of the wagon, last wagon? What do you say now? Will the train derail or will the wagon fall off from the tracks? So you can see that it has passed. The train has not derailed or neither has it fallen. So what is the reason for this? So showing this kind of a video will make them think. So now they know that there is something here, there is something behind. Why, in spite of all these things, the train has not fallen? Now let me go to the next one. This is the second video which I generally show the students immediately after the first video. Here you can see a train which is coming out of the tunnel. And now here we will make them understand how trains actually run. So this is another video. Let me show this video. You can see here the train is moving on from the tunnel. This is a view taken from the front of the train. You can see the wiper here. So again, I'll just skip to save some time. So this is moving through the tunnel. Okay. Now you can see here, you can see some blue lines, green lines, and red lines. So this I'll explain in future. So here what is happening is the train is taking a turn. So this is a Russian video. Now you can see this is completely animated. You can see here these wheels are not flat. The wheels are conical. So we have got conical wheels which are fixed to the axle. And you can see these are the rails. So these are the rails. Now again here also we have got what is called as tilting of the rails. So you can see if the rails are vertical, the rails will fall because of the coning of the wheels. The required reaction will not be provided by the rail. So you can see here, did you observe that there is a tilting of the rails? So if you go to any railway station, you can see that the rails will be tilted and the wheels will be coned. It will not be flat wheels. So now you can see just a wheel and axle which is moving on the track. I would like you to watch this point here. You can see some lines here. Now watch what is the portion of the wheel that is in contact. Here you can see the portion is going away. The train is taking a right turn here. Similarly, you can observe when the train takes a left turn. So you can see the center of gravity of these two wheels have been shown by the red dot. Train is taking a right turn. Train is taking a left turn. Again, you can see these lines. So here again, the center of gravity within the cone, it will be on the center of the track. See, this is the most important, you can say, an image in the video. This is the reason why the trains did not fall. This is a rail. This is the wheel. You can see the conical surface. You can see that the rail is tilted, but you can also see that there is a flange to the wheel. Now what happens is this flange will be towards the inside of the railway. So even if there is any movement, this flange will not allow the train to go away from the rail. Similarly, on the other side also, the flange will be towards the inside of the wheel. So you can see the lines I told you, red, green, and blue. Those are the things that are in contact. Now you can see the flange on the inner sides. Now wheel and axle, it becomes a bogie. A number of bogies are connected and the train goes back. So here this is giving the concept of why the train did not fall in the previous case. So now this is the initiative. Now here there is a quote from somebody called Lily Tomlin. They say she's an actress, US actress. But this quote, I like a teacher who gives you something to take home to think about besides homework. This is what you're supposed to give. And what I did, my experience was, this is the assignment I gave to the students. After seeing these two videos, I asked them to visit to the nearest railway station, collect as much of images that you can collect. Even you can make small videos. And the result was wonderful. I got plenty of images. Most of them had gone to Puram railway station. They gave me even videos also, which I have a collection. For want of time, I'll not be showing that. But certainly, the students did a wonderful job. And this motivated me to go about other things. So initiative number 2 is, I'll be discussing about a subject called concrete technology. You can see that my research is on concrete only, rigid pavements. So in concrete technology, what I would like to speak is about rubrics. So how we are going to make a student pay attention to the class. And now coming to the other part, the last part of the retention of knowledge, teaching. Teaching means that 90% of the knowledge will be retained. Here, I gave the students opportunities to teach to their own students. I made the staff members also to attend the classes and give them feedback about that. So what was done was, for example, this was in SJP 4th semester, concrete technology. And each and every student, 5 students were made as a batch. Each batch was given a particular topic. Students had to go to the field or from you can say the net, download information, collect data, then make a presentation, and then submit a report. So what they have done, I have awarded the marks using rubrics. Then a concrete fair, luckily I was lucky enough that this particular concrete fair was being conducted at RB College of Engineering. As Sir was saying that I am also an alumni of RB College of Engineering. So here, this particular fair, there were plenty of events. Quiz competitions were there in this fair. It was only for BE students and PG students, UG and PG students. The Polytechnic students, they did not have an opportunity to participate in these events. I spoke to the coordinator, Dr. Radhakrishna, and I told him that why don't you give an opportunity? We are doing this student-centered learning, and the students are going to learn once they are going to do this. He gave us permission for 10 students, and we selected 10 students, making a small interview. And we asked 10 students to go to RV College of Engineering and participate. And 13 students had visited that. So now I'm just going to show you some images of concrete technology. So here, this is the page that I did for evaluation using rubrics. So you can see a concrete technology 2016-17 CIE. The rubric scale is, if the student gets 1, he is unsatisfactory. 2, he is developing. 3 is satisfactory. 4 is good, and 5 is exemplary. You can see here, these were the topics given to these students, and these tick marks are when they have submitted or when they have made a presentation to me in my staff room, etc. Now, the dimensions that we measured were the communication skills of the students, then the presentation skills of the student, writing skills by form of the report, then participating in a team. This is very important. Some of them you can see, I'll show you one more page, where there was no coordination in the team itself. Then completing the task in time is very, very important. So you can see here some students have taken 5, they have scored 5. This is in communication skill, how well they could communicate. And once the student is given an opportunity to communicate and make a presentation in this, I'm talking about theory. I'm not talking about project work. I'm not talking about lab. This is completely a theory subject. And this was the initiative that I took, and I'm glad that the students, even today, they remember me for providing this. Recently, I had been to one of a consultancy where a student was there. I did not know that he was my student. He came and told me, "Sir, how are you? You're Dr. Suresh Kumar, isn't it?" Then I said, "How do you know me?" He said, "I was a student in SJP." And the first thing he told was, "Sir, ನೀವು ನಮಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಲ್ವ ಸರ್, ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. He has completed his BE and now he's working in a consultancy." Now let me go to the second image. So this is page number 3. You can see batch number 910. So you can see this is the topic of the title. See, again here, the students are given a choice. This is choice-based education. In the curriculum, there is something called special types of concrete. The students, they were given an opportunity to select whatever topic they want, and they have selected. Here you can see batch number 10. I have not put the topic because at the time when I took the printout, they had still not selected the topic. And here you can see there is somebody like scoring 1, somebody scoring 3, somebody scoring 1. So here you can see this student is unsatisfactory. Then here again one more student, Padmaraju. The other students are okay. Now here participation in the team also is not okay. So here, by this kind of assessment, we will be able to assess who are the students who are poor, and we have to provide more attention to them and make them in par with the other students also. Now let me go to the next. So this is This is the image from the concrete fair, RV College of Engineering. These were the students who participated in that fair, concrete fair 2016. So you can see the smiles on these faces. These are the events that were conducted in RV College of Engineering, and I should say that commendably they did well. So here, this is the next image. I've got a PDF of the Gmail I contacted. Okay. So you can see here, I just contacted Mr. Radhakrishna at rbcedu.in. I thank you for giving our students an opportunity to participate in the concrete event. I can see that students' confidence has grown. A lot of information is shared on WhatsApp groups. In a student-centered learning is happening. To this, he has replied. At that time, Srinivas Murthy sir was the principal. A copy has been put to him also. This is what Dr. Radhakrishna replies. Your students from SJP were really enthusiastic. They were qualified for all the events, but could not win prizes. But they have won hearts. So I should say this even the students expressed. Even other participants were appreciating the efforts of SJP students. You would have noticed in that photograph, they had gone with an identity card and uniform. The third initiative is CASP. Again, this is another experiment that I try to do with the student. So this is regarding community awareness. This is final year environmental engineering students. So one task I gave to them was to go to a village. The village was identified by the students themselves. One student, a girl by name Swati, she was a student final year civil engineering in a village called Venugopalpura, 15 kilometers from Kolar. I told her, your classmates are going to come to your village and they're going to make a awareness program, community awareness program for your village people. You have to provide breakfast and lunch for them. The date was fixed 2nd October 2019 on Gandhi Jayanti Day. And none of the staff members or myself accompanied the students. So we wanted to see what the students are going to do. And besides that, because of Gandhi Jayanti, the students also, the staff were not able to accompany the students. So what happened was the task given was the villagers were asked to assemble at a particular place in the village panchayat hall, and students are going to come. They had prepared charts, they had prepared posters, and using that they were going to give awareness on health and hygiene conditions in village, and what are the schemes, government schemes that is beneficial to school students. They actually went to the village, and with all the necessary materials, I had asked them to send images through WhatsApp every 1 hour. Once they reached the village, they had their breakfast. Nothing, could not get any information from WhatsApp. Then I only called a student. I asked, what has happened? He says, sir, we had asked the villagers to gather at one particular place, but none of them have gathered. What to do, sir? Then I told, I'm going to give you about 20 minutes time. I don't know what you're going to do. Your task is to disseminate the information, whatever you're going to do. After 20 minutes, I'm going to give a call. Before that, you're going to get a solution. You can call me back. So after 20 minutes, I waited for 30 minutes. Again, still there was no answer. Then again, I called another student and I told him, what is happening? Why you people are not calling? Then he said, no, sir, even now we are trying our effort. The people are not coming at all. Then I just gave them a hint. If the people are not coming to you, you go to them.
Sir, I think we lost the connection. Coming. We have lost connection with Dr. Suresh Kumar, sir. Just 1 minute. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬೋದು. You're not able to establish connection with Dr. Suresh Kumar. Yes. So we'll start with the next speaker. Our next speaker is Harish CP, lecturer in mechanical engineering, Karnataka Government Polytechnic, Mangaluru. So he'll be speaking to us on upgradation of polytechnics through PPP model, public-private partnership model. So just to give a brief insight about him, Mr. Harish CP has completed his BE in mechanical engineering from Malnad College of Engineering, Hassan. He served in industry for 2 years as a new product development engineer in metal injection molding based company in Bengaluru. In 2012, he joined the Department of Technical Education as lecturer. He served at GPT Harpanelli for 11 years and is currently serving at KPT Mangaluru. He pursued his MTech in nanotechnology with first rank gold medal from NIE Mysuru. He is currently pursuing PhD at National Institute of Technology, Karnataka Surathkal, Mangaluru. During his tenure, he served as a placement officer, student welfare officer, HOD of mechanical department. He is certified in Six Sigma Green Belt with outstanding grade. He won the Best Paper Award at 22nd IST State Level Faculty Convention and National Conference 2020 held at SJC Institute of Technology, Chikballapur. He has published research paper in a journal from American Institute of Physics. His area of research is atomic layer deposition and thin films and ceramic oxides for functional applications. And he is also involved in curriculum revision, Department of Technical Education in mechanical engineering branch. Sir, over to you, Harish, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for the nice introduction. Could you please confirm, am I audible? And
Yes, sir. You are audible.
And
slides are also visible.
Yeah.
Continue.
Firstly, I would like to thank the Department of Collegiate and Technical Education for giving me this opportunity to share my initiatives which I have taken in the past duration where I worked as a lecturer at Government Polytechnic, Harapnalli. And right now I am in KPT Mangalore. For the next 20-25 minutes, I would be taking you all through the kind of initiatives which we have taken at our own platforms. Firstly, in the year 2019, AICT has came up with a new initiative, and they started their AICT Training and Learning Academy, under which we had submitted a proposal to organize a national level faculty development program. In the year 2019, we were able to submit 2 proposals to conduct FDPs in the area of leadership and excellence, and another one in the area of robotics. For leadership and excellence, I was the coordinator, and for the FDP on robotics, my colleague, Mr. Dhruva Kumar, was the coordinator. This national level FDP program was organized from 31st May 2020 to 4/9/2020 which was funded by Atal Academy with a grant in aid of 93,000 rupees. This FDP was approved based on a very rigorous scrutiny process, which was held by the expert committee after a thorough screening process. And for our FDP program, there were 200 participants have participated from across the country, and the certification was issued by AICT Atal Academy. And even today, the FDP materials are available online. What is the best part of this FDP program is, ours was the first and only polytechnic in the state of Karnataka to organize 3 Atal Academy sponsored FDP programs. Under which I would like to spend few minutes upon the funding which we have received. Many a times we wish to contribute to our institute, but we may not be able to spend money from our pockets. If you look at the amount of money which we have received under this FDP program, the total grant in aid was 93,000. If you look at the serial number 5 and 6, the institutional charges and miscellaneous charges, we were able to spend around 30,000 rupees for the institute. It's not a small amount, according to me. We did some good work, and we purchased something which were lagging to organize a national level FDP programs. And those materials were kept and donated for different departments. And that's how, we made a significant contribution to the institute. This is some of the glimpse, we were able to conduct the program through online mode because that was a COVID-19 period. We did it on the online, and we got a huge response from the participants across the country. I'm showing you this picture, though the initiation was taken from my side, but the execution part was purely done by my team members. Though the people who are sitting next to me, they played a vital role in executing the program. And of course, the entire faculty members of GPT Harapanalli who stood behind me in executing this national level FDP program. And we were able to do it successfully. This was the certificate of appreciation which I have received from AICT Atal Academy for the successful conduction of the training program. This training program was completely free of cost for the participants. We have not collected any money from the participants, which was funded by AICT, and ours was the first program, first polytechnic to do such a kind of program. And the second one is, in the year 2020, I got an opportunity to submit a proposal to AICTE under a very popular scheme called Modernization and Removal of Obsolescence, popularly referred as MODROP scheme. I was fortunate enough that my proposal has been accepted by AICTE MODROP scheme for the modernization of the hydraulics and pneumatics laboratory, with a funding of rupees 15,94,500 rupees. So I feel that this is not a small money, and why this funding was so important is previously we used to conduct all our laboratory classes in a nearby polytechnic. After successfully completing this project, now the state-of-the-art laboratory has been set up under MODROP scheme, and now our students are enjoying this facility. And this project was a boost and milestone for a polytechnic which was located in a very rural place called Harapanalli. This is a screenshot which is showing the sanction letter, wherein myself is the coordinator, and rupees 15,94,500 has been sanctioned for modernization of hydraulics and pneumatics laboratory under MODROP scheme. You can see some of the laboratory equipments which we have purchased under this project. I hope these are the best project which I can refer is MODROP is a very good scheme from AICT, which we should consider it seriously for the upgradation of our polytechnics. PPP was the headline of my talk. PPP is famously like a public-private partnership, which is adopted by state and central governments. Here, I would really mean that it is the participation of people for polytechnics. At the end of my session, I really mean that this is all possible only because of the participation of my team and my colleagues for the upgradation of polytechnics. In the year 2022, I had to submit a proposal to IST Karnataka State section for organizing a third IST state level Polytechnic Student Convention 2022 with a theme Science and Technology for Better Living. The event was organized on 13th December of 2022 with a fund of rupees 25,000 from IST New Delhi and IST Karnataka section. Why this convention was a proud moment for us is ours was the first polytechnic in the state of Karnataka, first government polytechnic to host the IST state level convention. The first two state conventions were organized by JSS Polytechnic Mysuru, and the second one was held at Arya Bharati Polytechnic Tumkuru. And ours was the first ever government polytechnic to host such a prestigious convention. And during the convention, there were 450 participants from 27 polytechnics have participated in the convention. And there were many representatives have attended the program from IST Karnataka State section. You can see that though the funding was only 25,000 from IST State section, anyone can certainly doubt upon the amount of whether it is enough to host a state level convention. Definitely, it's not possible to host any state level convention at a cost of 25,000, at a funding of 25,000. But again, I mean to say that it's the participation from my faculty member, my colleagues, my students, and even the local Grama Panchayat members and even the MLAs. You can see some of the glimpse over here. The event was inaugurated by the then MLA of Harapnalli constituency. And he expressed the happiness, like how come a polytechnic which is situated in a taluk level is hosting a state level convention. I'm happy that you people have taken initiative, and what help I need to make for this event, he said. And we have asked him, sir, can you please provide food for 500 students during the convention? He came forward and he provided us food for 500 participants. That is the reason I call it as participation, people's participation for polytechnics. During the convention, like the entire cleaning and process and the entire responsibility was taken by a local Gram Panchayat. You can see this was the arrangement we have made for the state level convention. At the right side, you can see that the team, the entire GPT Harapnalli, the teaching and non-teaching faculty members. I mentioned in the beginning itself that I am only the person, I took the decision, initiation, but the execution part was done by the team who worked hard day and night, and they executed this event in such a grand manner. I always remember them and thank them for all these efforts. This was some of the pictures during the valedictory function, wherein we have issued prizes to the participants. Some of the events which we have organized as part of this state level convention was, electronics department has conducted a quiz competition, civil department has conducted a spot modeling event, mechanical department has conducted solid modeling event, and computer science people had conducted website design competition. And for all the branches, we have conducted paper presentation competitions that you can see here. Some of the prizes which we have distributed. And as part of that event, even we have organized, some of the cultural activities. And you can see the media coverage about the state level convention, wherein you can see some of the headlines wherein state level convention has happened in a village. It's all a proud moment, of course, an emotional topic for me, as we all have come up from a very rural background. Having been able to organize in such a rural place, this is a proud moment for Government Polytechnic Harapnalli, and I thank the entire team. After that, why these kind of events are good for a person as well as for the institution, like you can see here, I got a certificate of appreciation from IST Karnataka State section for my valuable contribution in organizing a third IST state level Polytechnic Student Convention 2022. Not only the convention, I must share 2-3 minutes about the IST student chapter which we established in GPT Harapnalli. GPT Harapnalli was started in the year 2009, and it's hardly a 13-14-year-old institute. We didn't had a IST student chapter. We took a decision to start a IST student chapter in the year 2019, but that was hit by COVID and the process got delayed. Fortunately, with the support from the Director of Technical Education and the Joint Directors from Head Office, we were able to get the IST student chapter in 2020. And the chapter was inaugurated by Sri Krishna Nayak, who was the DGM at Hatti Gold Mines. He was from Harapnalli only. So his participation was very vital, and he gave a very fortunate start to this chapter. And within 1 year, we were able to host a state level convention. And considering our efforts to organize a state level convention, our institute chapter was recognized for the best performing IST chapter student award in the year 2023. And one of our students, Mr. K.M. Vijay Kumar, has received this award at a function held at Vemana Institute of Technology, Bangalore in the year 2023. This was all about the efforts and the initiative which I have taken during my stay at Government Polytechnic Harapnalli for the 11 years. Now I am moved to KPT Mangalore, Karnataka, very historical institute, which was built in, which was started in the year 1946. I should mention that the institute was started even before the independence. And when I moved to this institute, I had expressed my views with my students about the NITs and IITs and the IISCs. Coincidentally, we came to know that IISc is celebrating the open day, and it's open for students to visit that prestigious institute. And after coming to know about the concept, our students came to me and said, "Sir, we are very much willing to visit IISc. Can you please guide us?" And I had to, go with my principal and asked him, "Sir, can we take students to IISc? This is going to be the first time our students are going to visit IISc. That is such a prestigious institute in India." Sir has supported us, and he said, "Yes, you should go ahead with this kind of initiative." And though there is no funding involved in this project, why I'm mentioning is there was a question: where do we provide accommodation to all these 22 students when we go to Bangalore, all the way from Mangalore? So I reached out to Institution of Engineers, Karnataka State section, seeking accommodation facility. And one of the council member, once he came to know about this purpose, he came forward and he said, "Yes, IEI has nominal fees to pay for accommodation. However, I am ready to pay the money as on behalf of my students." He is actually from Belagavi, and he took that opportunity to pay for accommodation and provided to our students. Was the beautiful part of this visit. And you can see that very first time many of our students visited Bangalore, and visiting IISc on the open day occasion was the beautiful moment for all our students. They visited the Department of Material Science and Engineering. They visited Computer Science. There were many departments at IISc, and the fantastic part of IISc is that the kind of research and the ideas they come up with is so good that they are shaping the future. So it was so fortunate that our students were able to spend their valuable time at such a prestigious institute. And students were sitting in front of the mechanical engineering building and sitting at such a fantabulous institute for a couple of minutes. They said, "How come this IISc is doing such a great work?" So the reality is that NITs, IITs, or IISc, they never do any magic, but the way they do things is a magic. With that concept, we were able to come out of IISc, and that has kept in the minds of our students that they were so much inspired, and I hope that inspiration will take them to a different heights in their career. Now, KPT Mangalore is celebrating its Platinum Jubilee, which has completed 75 years in the year 2022. Due to COVID, we could not able to celebrate the Platinum Jubilee celebration, but now we are planning to host the celebration by the end of year, maybe in the month of December. Our principal sir is taking certain, decisions, and a lot of work is going on at the institute. To mark this milestone, I had to submit once again after coming to KPT Mangalore. I took the charge of IST student chapter here. Had submitted proposal to IST once again to host fourth IST state convention at KPT Mangalore. Again, we are fortunate that we got approval from IST Karnataka State to host this prestigious state level convention, which will definitely provide a very good platform to our students to showcase their talent. The brochure is already ready. We are in the process of getting permission from the DTE and the concerned officials from IST Karnataka State section. I'm taking this platform to share that KPT is going to host this prestigious convention once again to mark its platinum jubilee celebration. I hope everyone would be able to take up this opportunity for the betterment. Lastly, I'm happy and proud to share that you can see in the slides, it was July 12. That was the day when myself and Rajasekhar sir spoke about having a session in the AROHAN 9 series. I think I got a call from Rajasekhar sir in the afternoon about delivering a session for AROHAN. By evening, I got a mail from AICTE saying that the proposal submitted from my side has been accepted by Atal Academy to organize a faculty development training program for the year 2024-25. As I mentioned earlier, I had organized one online FDP program which was sponsored by Atal Academy during my stay at GPT Arpanalli. After that also, I submitted many proposals which was not accepted by AICTE. I do not mention the word that it was rejected. Even in their website, they do not use that word, it was rejected. Instead, they say that it was not considered. But I didn't stop my efforts. I took permission from my principal, sir, and I said, sir, can we submit proposal? He encouraged me and provided all the support, the moral support. And as a result of that, this is the outcome that we are happy that our proposal has been accepted by AICTE Atal Academy. The best part is that ours is the only polytechnic from the state of Karnataka out of 50 FDPs selected under polytechnics across the country. We had undergone a orientation program which was organized by Atal Academy in the last week. We came to know that out of 4,550 applications, only 475 FDPs are selected, and ours is one of that. So finding ourselves out of 4,550 applications is such a proud moment for me. And the grant in aid for this FDP is 3.5 lakhs. And this training program is going to be in a physical mode. And the topic of the FDP is nanotechnology and applications, because my area of research and the area where in which I pursued my MTech is nanotechnology. So under this topic, we are going to organize a 1-week national level FDP program, and which we have proposed to organize from 20th January 25 to 25th January 25. I take this platform as one more opportunity to share that those who are working in the state of Karnataka, it's a nationwide training program which you can utilize. You can come and attend this training program, and you can certainly enjoy the hospitality from KPT Mangalore as well as the Arabian Sea's environment. You can see that the serial number 10, the application number, and the host institute is Karnataka Government Polytechnic, Mangalore, Kadri Hills, Mangalore, nanotechnology and applications, and myself will be the coordinator of this training program. These are some of the initiatives which I have taken for the upgradation of polytechnics. Though PPP refers to public-private partnership, I really mean that it's people's participation for polytechnics. So what next? We can certainly reach out to AICTE. Please do visit AICTE's website. There are many schemes which was provided by AICTE. You can see that there are many student development schemes are there, many faculty development schemes are there, institutional development schemes are there, research and innovation development schemes are there, and there are general schemes which promote coordinated development in India. So apart from our teaching and learning and valuation activities, one can certainly look into these kind of schemes which are funded by AICT, and you'll be given a due respect if you submit applications, and certainly it's going to be a big moment for you in your personal career as well as for the institute. Before thanking, I am here to submit my deep sense of gratitude to my teachers, my students, and my colleagues at the Government Polytechnic Harpanalli, KPT Mangalore, where I'm located now, and DT Bangalore, AICT New Delhi, IST Karnataka State section, and IEA Karnataka State chapter. Thank you. Finally, I would like to thank you, Rajashekar sir and Joint Director Shrikant sir, Director Prasanna sir, and Commissioner Jagdish sir, and Principal Secretary sir Shrikar Bharat sir for giving me this opportunity to share my initiatives. There were many faculty members who came who contacted me from engineering colleges saying how to apply for these kind of funding programs. In fact, I had to share my knowledge with the people. I would be very happy if someone come forward from the Polytechnic side to host these kind of initiatives. Thank you, Anand.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Harish sir, for conducting so many activities. ACT, through ACT, there are a lot of schemes which are available, and you are able to harness all those schemes and effectively conduct Atal Academy programs at Harpanalli, GPT Harpanalli, successfully. And you have carried forward it at KPT Mangaluru as well. Once again, congratulations to you. And also, you are instrumental in bringing MODROPS funding also. And you have involved students for IAC visits, and you're conducting state level students convention, that is IST, this year, and which is culminating with Platinum Jubilee celebration as well. So again, there's one more feather in your cap. Congratulations. And also, you are conducting this Atal Academy program, FDP, at KPT Mangalore as well, and bringing in 3.5 lakhs funding for that. And congratulations for you for having been selected one among the 4,550 applications. It's a great achievement, and definitely all our faculty across the state would take it as a yes, as an example to carry it forward.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for your words. And I would like to mention one thing, that this would not have been made possible without the support of my principals at GPT Harpanalli. And here at KPT Mangalore, everything is happening because of the kind of support which I am receiving from the principal sir, as well as my colleagues. They always, I mentioned that I'm here to take the initiation, but execution is purely done by my colleagues.
Definitely, you have given credit as a teamwork.
Yes.
At GPT Harpanalli as well, and at KPT Mangalore also, it's a teamwork.
Yes,
definitely. With single-handedly, it's difficult to carry forward. As a team, I mean, you were able to convert it opportunity into reality. Yes, definitely. Congratulations. And I request participants, if they have any question, they can raise their hands.
Yeah, I would be happy. I do came to know that participation from Polytechnic side for AICT funded projects is very less. So if we take some initiation and spend some time for that, we do get recognized, and we do get funding, and we can involve our students in execution part, and certainly it's going to be a milestone for all the polytechnics. We may not be able to spend money from our pockets, but certainly these kind of projects will help us to contribute to our institutes as well as to the society, sir.
Yes. So I don't think there are any specific questions. Anyway, I request the participants to please connect with Harish CP for further information on conducting such activities under AICT schemes. Thank you, Harish, for your wonderful presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Now we'll go to our last speaker of the day, Miss Divya. Divyashri KL, senior grade lecturer in ENC, Government Polytechnic Chintamani. She will be speaking on impact of automation in industries. She has been working in the department since 2008 and currently handling automation and robotics pathway at Government Polytechnic Chintamani. Madam, over to you.
Greetings to one and all. Myself, Divyashri KL, Senior Lecturer in Government Polytechnic Chintamani. Today, I'll be discussing about the impacts of automation in industries. So, first, we'll see about the meaning of automation, then role and benefits of automation, challenges faced by the manufacturing industry when they were using the manual process. And we have visited two semi-automatic industries in Chintamani as part of the curriculum, and students' feedback on those visits. So, what is automation? Automation is a Greek word that means it's self-acting. Automation means it's a set of technologies that we use to enhance the performance that can be the burden or the problem in a manual operation. So, industrial automation is a process of operating machines and other industrial equipments with the help of digital programming. Means here we are using a set of programs so to perform a particular task. Humans are only used to operate the machines, so it is more advantaged when compared to the manual process. So next slide. So normally the automation process uses the power and a set of instructions, then control system and the process. The set of instruction has, as a previous slide. The set of instruction has a commands that will be fed to the control system, and via the control system, the instructions will be given to the processor as what to do. So the processor processes the actual information and gives the desired output, and also it gives a feedback to the control system. So, as we know, automation comes in three categories. The first one is the fixed automation, second one is the programmable automation, and the third one is the flexible automation. So, fixed automation. Fixed automation means, as the name itself says, the automation is mainly fixed. Means, for the example, in a manufacturing industry, where the industry is manufacturing only one number of products, means the product quantity, quality, everything is fixed. So, there we use the machines. Such type of automation is referred as a fixed automation. So, next one is the next slide. So the qualities of features of fixed automation is, as automation means we use a machines and it requires a high initial investment cost, but the production rate will be very high using the fixed automation, because only same type of production will be done, and it benefits when the supply meets the demand. And when we need to change the product, I mean, so in a product we need to change anything, that is not possible using the fixed automation. So some of the applications where we can use the fixed automation are, the first one is the automated assembly machines. So machines that we are used in assembly lines and a chemical manufacturing process, material handling conveyor systems, matching transfer lines, paint coating automation process, web handling, and converting systems. So these are the some application areas where we use the fixed automations. So next one is the programmable automation. As the name itself says, programmable. So here what we do is we set a write of instructions in a coded form, and that will be fed to the automation machinery via a programmer. So here the production can be done in batches only. Means every time the product requires some modifications. So whenever there is a modification idea comes or a modification is required, the manufacturing industry goes from fixed automation to a programmable automation. So next slide. So some of the silent features of a programmable automation are high investment. Here we use a general purpose equipment, whereas in a fixed automation we use a specified equipment, because there the everything is fixed. Means the during the manufacturing only the automation machine will be programmed to perform only particular single task. But in a programmable automation we use a general purpose equipment that can be changed based on the input. The output can be changed on the instructions given in a programming. And here the production rate is very low compared to fixed automation, because here we are producing in a batches. If I take an example of Kisan Jam industry, they use a fixed automation as well as a programmable automation. So fixed automation is used to manufacture the jam, but for the packing of that jam they use a programmable automation. As we know that the jam comes in containers as well as in the sachets also. So whenever the production is done for the containers, they use a certain set of instructions to perform the presentation, means packing. And for the sachets the packing will be different. So that time they reprogram the machine depending upon the requirement. So next slide. So programmable automation, the best example for program, next one sir, the machine is the NMC machine or the numerical control machine. Here the program is coded in a computer memory for different product style. That is the example I have taken as the Kisan Jam, and the machine is controlled by the computer operator. So the next one is the flexible automation system. Flexible automation system is the updated version of the flexible programmable automation. Here the human machine interface is there. Means the operator can give the data, and the machine interacts with the operator along with the data, and it manufactures based on the information given. The next one sir. So some of the examples where we can see flexible automation is the auto manufacturing companies. Means the car companies, they use flexible automation in their assembly lines, and the warehouse logistics, packing and all done with the help of a flexible automation. So normally the industrial automation process applies in 3 levels. The first one is the field level, next one is the control level, and third one is the supervisor level. In the field level we use the sensors and actuators. Here the point to point connection is possible. In a control level we use a PLCs, programmable logic controllers, to write the programs, and automation will be works on the PLCs, and we use a field buses for the communication. The last one is the supervisor level. We'll use a computer to perform or to supervise everything. So I can put it in some previous slide only. So in a field level automation, small scale industries are getting benefited. In control level, medium scale industries are getting benefited, and in supervisor level, high scale industries are getting benefited using the automation process. So next slide. So roles and benefits of automation in industry. So as we know, in manual industry, there is a problem of meeting the expectations, and the quality sometimes is not up to the mark. So using the automation industry, we can achieve increase in productivity, enhance in quality, greater consistency, flexibility, more precise information, promotes industrial safety, and cost reduction is there. Once the setup is done, so we can manufacture n number of products using the same automation only. And there is a efficient usage of material. No wastage of the material is happening using the automation. So next one. So challenges faced using the manual production. So first one is the demand. So sometimes using the manual production, demands cannot be fulfilled, and there is a errors and training the staff. So as we know, there is a floating of staff in the industries. So once the staff are left, the new staffs must be taken and they have to be trained. So during that time, the production may be not up to the mark. So these are the some of the disadvantages of manual process, and that can be overcome by using the automation. So next one. So manual process. So as a part of the curriculum in automation and robotics, so they have mentioned two industrial visits. So one for the paper plate industry, and the other one is for the uh, Agarbatti industry. So we have visited both the industries. So first we'll see what are the process that can be done using the manual process to manufacture the agarbattis. So normally they mix the all the ingredient powder along with the water, and that paste will be applied to the bamboo sticks, and the bamboo sticks will be dried again. They will be packed, and the packaging, everything starting from mixing of the paste to packaging, everything was done manually in the olden days for the manufacturing of the agarbattis. So next slide. Next one, sir. So using the automatic, semi-automatic machines in a Agarbatti factory, all those manual process can be done using the machines only. So for the mixing, they use a mixer type machine, and for the manufacturing Agarbatti, they use a semi-automatic machines. Next one, sir. So this is the visit of Vasavi Agarbattis in Chintamani. I, along with the 30 students of our pathway, we have visited the industry for manufacturing agarbatti. They use a semi-automatic machine. So next slide. So this is the semi-automatic machine. The cost of this machine is 95,000. So the sticks will be given, and the paste will be fed from this container. So within a fraction of second, they manufacture the agarbattis, and there is no human part in manufacturing the agarbattis. Only for the operating the machines, they need it. So next slide, sir. So next one. This is the paste. The next one. So this is how it works. There is a sensor, and every time the stick is not proper or the stick is not present, the sensor gives the indication, and the machine automatically stops. So the other industry we have visited is the paper cup industry. So this is how the paper cup will be manufactured. So this is our students' interaction. So this is the and the students' feedback, but because of some problem, the videos are not able to play.
Fine, madam. Madam, did the students do any model on this?
Sir, actually, this week I have given the assignment for them to make the mini projects, sir.
Okay.
So actually, they have learned in theory about the VFDs and all, variable frequency drives. So in the paper cup industry, they have used those VFDs to make different size cups, sir. So when we visited the industry, they were able to make 4 different size cups, sir. One is a 50 ml cup, 100 ml, 120 ml, and 250 ml cups, sir.
Okay, madam. Thank you, madam. Thank you
Okay, sir. Thank you.
for giving an overview of the impact of automation in industries and how the students have participated, and you have conducted so many industry visits as well, so that the
Yes, sir.
practical applications they're exposed to. Thank you,
Yes,
madam.
sir. Thank you, sir.
The participants, if you have any specific question, please you may ask. I think there are no questions.
So just a minute. There is a video of the manufacturing.
Huh.
So I hope this plays. Sir, are you able to see it, sir?
No, no.
Now, sir.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
And students' feedback is there, sir, based on the industry visit. So can I play it, sir?
Okay, one feedback.
Okay,
Sure.
sir.
Audio is, I mean, it's not audible.
Sir, it's coming, sir.
No, madam, no. Now I think. Yes. Oh, okay, madam. It's
Time is okay,
yeah.
sir. I'll
Running
okay,
out of
sir. I'll
time
stop.
also.
Okay, sir.
Anyway, thank you, madam.
Thank you,
I
sir.
thank all today's speakers who have given wonderful talk. This was AROHAN 2024 lecture series 9. It was it is an initiative of our honorable principal secretary. I thank one and all for this. I thank all the principals, head of sections, faculty, and students who have connected to this online lecture series. Thank you, one and all.